One tennis player earns over $100 million from endorsement deals alone. And another could pack up a racket right now and still be one of the richest athletes in the world. These are 10 of the richest tennis players in the world. Coming in at number 10 is none other than the legendary Andy Murray, with a net worth of $100 million US. Everyone knows that Murray is one of the best tennis players of the 21st century. Since he turned pro in 2005, the Scottish tennis GOAT has won a total of 3 Grand Slams throughout his 15-year career, including the US Open in 2012, Wimbledon in 2013 and 2016, and has reached 11 major finals. With such an impressive career portfolio, it's no surprise to see that the 3-time Grand Slam winning Brit has a net worth of $100 million, out of which he earned $61.5 million through prize money winnings alone. His impressive portfolio has also made him an endorsement magnate for a lot of big brands, like Adidas, the Royal Bank of Scotland, Shiatsu Chin, and Under Armour, just to name a few. With that kind of money, some people would be thinking drugs, women, and clubs. But not Murray. The Brit has surprisingly proved himself to be very prudent with his money. Murray also prefers to invest his money in small businesses and real estate to multiply his multi-million-pound fortune. What's even more impressive than his wealth is his generosity. Murray has a heart of gold and has proven time and time again that he's not afraid to give back. You see, back in 2011, Murray donated his entire prize money from the Queen's Club Championships to the Royal Marsden Hospital, a foundation that supports cancer patients. And that's just one example of his incredible generosity. So not only is Andy Murray one of the richest tennis players in the world, he's also one of the most admirable. He's a true champion, both on and off the court. At number 9, Andre Agassi, with a net worth of $145 million. As one of the most talented all-around players in tennis history, Andre Agassi had a lot of success throughout his career. So let's start with his stats. Agassi is an 8th-time major champion, Olympic gold medalist, and runner-up in 7 other majors. He's also the first guy to win all 4 singles majors on 3 different surfaces, making him the ultimate court conqueror. Andre's consistency allowed him to make over $31 million throughout his career, which puts him at 8th on the all-time leaderboard in earnings. But it's not just his impressive achievements on the court that make Andre a marketing dream. Nike practically worshipped the ground that he walked on after he became their first true tennis superstar. And the best part? Nike wasn't the only big brand after Agassi. The 8-time Grand Slam winner had more racket sponsorships than you can count. From DuPont to Mountain Dew, Mazda, American Express, Deutsche Bank, just to mention a few. Throughout his career, Agassi made $25 million a year from endorsements alone, which eventually accumulated to make up his $145 million fortune. And just like Murray, Agassi uses his fortune to help the poor. He is the founder of the Andre Agassi Charitable Foundation, which has raised over $60 million to help kids get an education. At the time of his retirement, he was 2nd on this list, right behind Pete Sampras. At number 8, Pete Sampras, with a net worth of $150 million. You see, back in the 90s, the tennis world was dominated by 2 giants, Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras. These guys were like Batman and Superman, except instead of fighting crime, they were smashing balls and racking up Grand Slam titles. But let's talk about Pete for a sec. The American was basically bred to be a tennis superstar. Call it parental instinct or whatever, but from the moment he was born, his parents knew Pete would turn out to be a tennis demigod. And Pete didn't disappoint. He started his professional career way back in 1988, and kept on winning until he finally hung up his racket after the 2002 US Open. Pete didn't just win that tournament, he defeated his longtime rival Andre Agassi in the final. And that victory gave him a grand total of 14 Grand Slam singles titles, which was a record in the Open era by the time he retired. Pete won a total of 64 singles titles throughout his career, reached world number 1 in 1993, and held that position for a whopping 286 weeks. That's over 5 years. As one of the best tennis players the world has ever seen, Pete Sampras has made millions of dollars from his career as well as from endorsements. During his career, the American made over $43 million earned from his tennis career and a whopping $100 million from endorsements alone. $100 million! Well, I guess that's what happens when every company in the world is trying to get a piece of the Sampras pie. And with all of that dough, it's no surprise to see Pete spending his money on the most luxurious assets. We're talking about a gigantic $20 million condo in California, a $14.5 million mansion in Beverly Hills, a property for almost $6 million in Bel Air, and another $25 million mansion in California, just to name a few. And you know what they say about men and their toys, right? Well, when Pete is not cruising in his super houses, the 14-time Grand Slam winner is splurging on a flamboyant car collection that would blow your mind. His collection includes a Porsche 911 GT2 RS, a Lamborghini Murcielago LP640, a Ferrari 458 Italia, a BMW M5, and a Mercedes-Benz SLS AM. And that's not even the full collection. Pete Sampras may have retired from tennis, but he's still living the high life. And with all that money, he could probably buy a small island somewhere and live out the rest of his days sipping on Mai Tais. Let's now move on to number 7, Maria Sharapova, with a net worth of $180 million. For a 7-year-old that left Russia for the US with her dad with only $700 in savings, Maria Sharapova is the ultimate rags to riches story. At just 17, she rocked Wimbledon and shocked Serena Williams to take home her first Grand Slam title and a whopping $723,000 in 2004. But that was just the tip of the iceberg for Sharapova. For over a decade, Sharapova was not only the queen of the court, but also the highest paid female athlete in the world. And that's not even including her on-court earnings of nearly $40 million. Over the course of her 17-year professional career, Sharapova was able to build a multi-million-dollar brand by partnering with brands like Nike, Porsche, TAG Heuer, Evian, Land Rover, Samsung, Head Rackets, and Canon. In 2010, she signed an 8-year deal with Nike that was estimated to bring in more than $70 million. Basically, when it comes to a brand that truly matters, Sharapova's been there, done that, and has the endorsement deal to prove it. Sharapova didn't just break records, she shattered them, and showed the world that anything is possible with a little grit, determination, and a whole lot of talent. Sharapova might have rocked the endorsement market with her talents, grit, and sexiness, but the next guy on this list made so much money that he might never go broke again. At number 6, Rafael Nadal, with a net worth of $220 million. Rafael Nadal is a true phenom in the tennis world. This Spanish player first turned pro at 15, and by the time he was 20, he had already racked up a whopping 16 titles. Now, most people would have slowed down from there, but not Nadal. The Spaniard continued to show off his incredible tennis skills and kept on winning championships left and right. It's no wonder that in 2022, at the age of 35, he became the biggest Grand Slam winner in men's tennis history with a total of 21 trophies. And like you would expect, all that winning comes with some serious cash. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Rafael Nadal's net worth is estimated to be around $200 million, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Nadal has earned a significant portion of his wealth through his successful tennis career, taking home major cash prizes from tournaments like the French Open and Wimbledon. But that's not all. The Spanish player is also raking in his fortune through some pretty sweet endorsement deals with big names like Nike, Kia Motors, and Banco Santander. And if that's not enough to make you want to grab a racket and start playing, Nadal has also made some serious bank from his real estate investments. He even has a fancy schmancy luxury hotel chain in his hometown of Mallorca, Spain. It's safe to say that this guy is living his best life. Moving into the top 5 now. At number 5, Serena Williams, with a net worth of $250 million. From being a 23 Grand Slam winner to bagging 4 gold Olympic medals and dominating the female tennis world for over 300 weeks, Serena Williams is a tennis player that doesn't need any introduction. Because if we're being honest, her achievements throughout her tennis career speak for themselves. And so does her bank account. Let's break it down, shall we? First, the American tennis star has won a jaw-dropping $94,223,875 in tennis tournaments throughout her career. And when you're as good as the almighty Serena Williams, you'd have brands chasing you like bees for partnerships and endorsements. And in the Americans' case, she's scored some major endorsement deals with big names like Nike, Gatorade, and Beats by Dre. And these deals alone have earned her an estimated $100 million. Serena isn't just a tennis superstar though, she's also a savvy investor, with stakes in companies like The Wing, the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, and the social networking app Bumble. And as if that wasn't enough, she also started her very own fashion line, S by Serena, in 2018. So it's no surprise that the 24 Grand Slam holder has a net worth of $250 million in total. We don't say it enough, but Serena Williams isn't just a tennis player or a businesswoman. She's a true inspiration. Her determination, hard work, and ability to dominate in every aspect of her life is something we can all learn from. Let's have a look at number 4, Novak Djokovic, with a net worth of $260 million. When you talk about the most successful athletes in the world, Novak Djokovic has to rank near the top. And in tennis, he's been ranked the number 1 player in the world for 2,212 days and counting. Djokovic started playing tennis when he was just 4 years old, and he's been crushing it ever since. With 22 Grand Slam singles titles, 36 ATP Masters 1000s titles, 80 ATP Tour titles, 5 Olympic medals, and 6 ATP finals under his belt, he's basically the LeBron James of tennis. But let's talk about the real winner here, his bank account. Djokovic's earnings are seriously insane. He's raked in over $150 million in prize money alone as of September 2021. And in addition to his on-court earnings, the Serbian has also scored some major endorsement deals with big brands like Lacoste, Asics, Head, and Seiko. According to Forbes, he made a whopping $55.2 million in endorsements in 2021 alone. Djokovic has also had endorsement deals with brands like Uniqlo, Sergio Tacchini, and Jacobs Creek. With all of these deals combined, he's estimated to have a net worth of over $260 million as of January 2023. Now, on to number 3. Can you guess who it is? That's right, Roger Federer, with a net worth of $1.1 billion. Roger Federer is easily one of the best athletes on earth. The Swiss tennis player has an impressive career portfolio of 20 Grand Slams, 103 career singles titles, 8 Wimbledon titles, as well as 5 consecutive US Open titles. He's pretty much the king of the court. But besides being one of the greatest tennis players to ever walk the earth, Roger Federer is one legend that knows how to multiply his wealth. As of 2022, Roger Federer's net worth was estimated to be $1.2 billion USD, making him one of the wealthiest athletes in the world. Over the course of his 24-year career, the Swiss has earned more than $130 million in prize money alone. Federer's success on the court has made him a highly sought-after brand ambassador. The Swiss's off-court game is so strong that he became the first tennis player to earn $1 billion during his career from prize money, endorsements, and appearance fees. And when he retired, he left the game with an estimated $1.1 billion in earnings. At number 2, Ion Tiriac, with a net worth of $2 billion. Ion Tiriac is a former Romanian professional tennis player and current billionaire businessman. With a net worth of $2 billion, Tiriac is the richest male tennis player in the world and the second richest tennis player. Tiriac may not be as famous as Roger Federer or Novak Djokovic on the tennis court, but he definitely knows how to make some money. During his tennis career, Tiriac won a total of $8.5 million in prize money. But this pales in comparison to the fortune he amassed through his successful company, the Tiriac Group. In fact, the company is so well known that it's rumored to have its own theme song. Tiriac's impressive resume doesn't stop there. He has also dabbled in ice hockey and was a professional player in that sport as well. It's safe to say that the Romanian is a jack of all trades. And who do we have at our number 1 spot? It's Jessica Pegula, with a net worth of $6.7 billion. The 28-year-old tennis champion is worth more than Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, and Serena combined. But what makes this New Yorker such a financial powerhouse? Well, it's all thanks to her dad, Tiriac Pegula, who's basically the ultimate sports dad. He's not only the 377th richest person in the world, but he's also the mastermind behind Pegula Sports and Entertainment, the sports empire that owns the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills with his wife Kim Pegula. Jessica's not your average trust fund baby. Sure, her dad Tiriac Pegula is one of the wealthiest people on the planet, but this girl's got some serious game. Despite her privileged background, Jessica's work ethics is one of the best you'll find in the game. This New Yorker has countless times shown the world how hardworking and determined that she is. And it shows in her incredible talent on the court. Her journey to the top hasn't been an easy one, but that hasn't stopped her from chasing her dreams with everything she's got. And now, here she is dominating the tennis scene and making us all stand up to give her flowers. So there you have it, folks. What tennis player would you like to see on this list soon? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to learn more interesting things about your favorite tennis players.